Hey, what's going on, everybody? Today, you can see what we got here on the board. We're looking at el pretérito. And of course, we've already looked at the regular preterite, sort of the mechanics of how to do the preterite and what it is. But I wanted to focus on something more specific today, and that's, as you can see here in green and black, and now I'm going to highlight it in red, what are known as car-gar-zar verbs. Now that sounds kind of strange, but really, if you look, they're all AR verbs, right? And like I have here, they're all AR verbs, and they're really just AR verbs that end with CAR, GAR, and ZAR. And as you can see right here, this is just a small list. You know, again, we could write a whole host of different ones up, but I wanted to show you some examples of GAR, ZAR, right? These are ZARs, and then CAR. So just a few examples, just to give you an idea of what we're even talking about. And so, and again, just so we're clear, it's verbs that end with CAR, GAR, and ZAR, and the only change, the only time this is going to happen, or the only place that it happens, is in the Joe form, right? And so that's the first person singular. Everything else is basically regular. And so we'll have a look at that too. But so this is only related to Joe, these specific types of verbs, car-gars are verbs in the preterite. Now, again, this will come back for the subjunctive, but we're not going to worry about that today. But that same idea, you'll see it resurface. And so I'll reference that probably when we get to the subjunctive. But nevertheless, I just want to show you here, I have them written a little clearer. You have car, gar, and zar. And again, just so we're, again, to reiterate, it's the last three letters of these verbs, these certain verbs in Spanish. And so, and this is where, the change is going to only happen in the Joe form. And you can see right here, right? Notice the E with the accent, and I'll bring your attention over to this, because that's the Joe conjugation for the preterite, for AR verbs, of course. And so that's where that E with an accent is coming from. And so again, just to reiterate, and you see in our examples, I only bothered with Joe because everything else, like I said, is for all intents and purposes completely regular. And so I just want to practice with you all today with how to execute, if you will, the car-gar-zar in the preterite. And so, again, for the Joe form, if we're talking about a car-gar-zar verb, there's going to be a slight tweak with the letters. So like in the case of the car verbs, so I'll bring you over here, these, buscar, sacar, practicar, which end with car. The C is going to change to QU, right? And then we'll have the E with an accent, of course, con acento, because it's an AR verb in the preterite. The GAR verbs, and I'll bring you on over here, right? Llegar, jugar, cargar, right? Which means to carry, to play, to arrive. And then buscar, sacar, practicar, to look for, to take out, right? And then to practice. So some of those we've already seen because we've worked with AR verbs. So, and then, but anyway, so the GAR verbs, right? The G will actually change to GU, right? And then we have our E with an accent. And so then the ZAR, right? And so I put 4 of those up there for some reason. I don't know, make it uneven, I guess. Abrazar, almorzar, comenzar, and empezar, right? So you have abrazar, which means to hug. Almorzar is to eat lunch. Comenzar and empezar both mean to begin. So they're synonyms. So maybe that's why I added the extra. Who knows? But anyways, the Z in that case is going to change to a C. And then again, we have our con acento, because as I said, it's AR in the preterite. So let's just have a look briefly at some examples, over here. But before we get into that, we can just, again, I'll just walk right through these and show you. At least we'll do llegar, abrazar, and then buscar, just to give you 3 examples over here too. So llegar, again, because of its preterite, it would be llegué, right? And so this, right, you get that GU and then that E, right? Buscar, again, we're going to just go ahead and get rid of the whole CAR. And the C changes to QU, and then you get that E, so busqué, right? And so, and then we'll come down here, I guess we'll do abrazar. So we have, the Z will change to C, so we get abracé. And again, just to reiterate, this is only in the Joe form. So just for fun, we'll look at llegar in all of its forms. And so we would do llegué, of course, we have that there. Llegaste, llegó, llegamos. What do we got here? Whoops, skip that. All right. Llegasteis, and vosotros, and then we have llegaron. I'm just trying to skip past that one. So, llegué, llegaste, llegó, llegamos, llegasteis, and llegaron, right? And so, as you can see, the only tweak, the only change is the Joe form. So, anyways, that's what we're dealing with. So, let's have a look here at these and sort of wrap things up. So we have buscar, we already did over there. So we have it for Joe, so that becomes busqué, right? So that C became a QU, and of course we do a con acento for Joe. So let's look at llegar again. Another one we did, we got llegué, right? The G became GU, and then we added our E. So you're making that little tweak, but you're also keeping your Joe ending, of course. And so almorzar, right? We did abrazar over there, so now let's do almorzar here. So we're going to get rid of all of that, and then we'll write almorcé, right? So that Z changed to a C, and then again, we stick with the E with an accent. And so número 4, tenemos número 4 acá. Yo jugar al fútbol con mis amigos anoche. And so again, gar, we have a gar, right? We looked at llegar, so it's going to do much of the same. So we would do llegué, or jugué, I'm sorry, jugué. So we have yo jugué al fútbol con mis amigos anoche, right? And then let's end with sacar. Sacar is to take out. So we have, again, it's a CAR, so we'll do saque, right? So the C again changes to QU, so we get saque. So let's read through these really quickly. Yo busqué a mi perro. I looked for my dog, right? So we're in the past tense, so we looked, or I looked. Número 2, yo llegué a tiempo a clase. I arrived on time for class. Número 3, almorcé a las 12, or mediodía, al mediodía. Let's make it even better. Al mediodía. Let's get specific. Yo almorcé al mediodía ayer, right? So I ate lunch at noon yesterday. Número 4, yo jugué al fútbol, right? There's a little accent there. Yo jugué al fútbol con mis amigos anoche, anoche being last night. So I played soccer with my friends last night. And then the last one, número 5, yo saqué la basura esta mañana. So I took out the trash. So sacar la basura means to take out the trash. Yo saqué la basura esta mañana, so this morning. So quick little lesson on cargars, are verbs, and the preterite. And so hopefully that was helpful for you guys. And yeah, so there it is.